Well, looks like we found a camp spot. We got all the way to James Lake and realized we didn't want to camp there, so we came all the way back to Eagle and found this nice bluff overlooking the lake, and we'll set up camp here, have a campfire, and cook some dinner.
Just because we're out here doesn't mean we can't be civilized.
Here we are, Eagle Lake. We're gonna cook some dinner. Beautiful views. We tried hiking to James Lake. Well, we didn't try. We got to James Lake, but we're at Eagle Lake, so that should tell you everything about it. Nice hike, put in some kilometers today, but now we're gonna feast on some salmon. We're gonna do miso broth, bok choy, and fingerling potatoes for dinner. Okay, we're gonna start by boiling up our potatoes here. Make sure to start them in cold water, that way you cook the potatoes from the inside out completely. You're not just cooking the outsides before the insides are cooked. While our potatoes are boiling, we're gonna tease tikka here and cut up some green onions. Just do a little bit of prep while things are cooking, so that way when everything's done, we just put in bowls and eat dinner tonight. Marty, call tikka.
Tikka. Tikka. No.
Just some nice chopped up green onions that we're going to use to garnish our miso broth. What we're going to do is we're going to take our bok choy, we're going to cut it in half, and we're going to blanch it off in the water with the potatoes. And you really only need the root part in there to soften it up. That's what we're doing when we're blanching. We're just softening the vegetable up, making it al dente. Once it becomes al dente, then we can pan fry it later and add some color, caramelization, and some flavor. Let's get that off of there and we'll start pan frying up our salmon. So we got 3 nice pieces of salmon. What we're going to do is we're going to add some kosher salt to it, obviously, and then we're going to cook it. And what we're going to do is we're going to heat the pan up, add the olive oil, and we're going to cook it from the skin side down first. And we're going to cook it almost completely, and then at the last minute we'll flip it over and we'll crisp up the top. That way we get it a nice medium on the inside and a nice crispy top and a nice crispy skin. But the skin will take the longest to crisp up. Another trick is that I've had it sitting on this towel to dry the skin out. If your skin's dry on your salmon, it's going to help you get a crispier product and it won't stick to the pan and fall apart when you try and flip it. I'm getting so good with this Maldon salt I can open it with one hand now. I'll just season her up. I'll start warming that pan up. Some olive oil. Now we're using a non-stick pan, but the olive oil is going to help prevent the salmon from sticking more.
I've been on about a dozen trips with this man. I'm still amazed. I love watching him do this. Like, this is, and I don't interfere. Like, he doesn't want us to interfere, so we don't interfere.
Now I've got our miso broth that I've made ahead of time, and I'm just going to keep it warm in the water. But first we're going to cut our potatoes in half and hide them around the campfire like Easter eggs. There, our potatoes are nicely cut up. And let's put our miso back in the hot water and let it sit there and warm up. Salmon's coming along nice. Not sure if you can see that or not, but you can see it cooking from the bottom up. We're almost at halfway. When it gets to halfway there, we'll flip it over. Okay, we're gonna flip our salmon over. We got a nice crispy bottom, beautiful skin on that. Now it doesn't take long at this point. It's pretty much done cooking. So, we're going to let our salmon rest next to the fire and stay warm. We're going to cook up our potatoes and our bok choy.
Right now, every so many years it goes up, but right now I'm at 4 weeks new.
Have you tried this at home before doing this? Or?
No, I just conceptualized in my head and then went for it. Okay, our bok choy's got some color. Let's go to the plate and put this together for the boys. Okay, everything's done. What we're going to do is we're going to plate dinner up here. We're going to start with our bok choy and just throw it in the bottom of the bowl. It's nicely colored. And fingerling potatoes. It's been not exactly a long day of hiking, but definitely some potatoes will be nice at this point of the day. Throw in this beautiful piece of salmon. Let's not forget our Maldon salt. And then our miso broth. Last but not least, we're going to add a little bit of this pickled red cabbage. Pickled. It gets this vibrant color just from the red cabbage pigments bleeding back into it. Oh yeah, our green onions. What would we do without Marty? Shit.
Marty's drooling. He's not going to let him forget something.
And then we got our green onions or scallions just as a nice garnish on the top.
Oh, I can smell it from here, Evan.
Yes. Good.
Wow. The aromas coming off of this are absolutely amazing. I mean, I could smell it while we were around the fire, but they're foreign to me.
Yeah?
The aromas are foreign to me. They're totally foreign to me. I don't know what's going to taste like what, but...
Well, bon appetit.
Yeah, bon appetit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the miso. Well, it's all good, but the miso has a
Is that smell?
Yeah, that's...
That skin is so crispy. The earthiness of the bok choy and the potatoes and like the sweetness of the miso.
Oh. Oh. Evan's right, there's something about a potato. The starch of a potato when you've been hiking.
It's comforting.
It's comforting, but proteins are super important, but when we hike, we go through a lot of energy. Protein helps rebuild the muscles afterwards, but the starches are critical.
That tartness, the red cabbage just cuts through that fat in the salmon. It's awesome.
This is amazing, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Isn't it? Jesus.
That was delicious. If I could lick this bowl, I literally would right now. That miso broth, so good. The crispy salmon skin, literally could have eaten it just by itself. It's like the most perfect cooked chicken skin that you just want to rip off the chicken and not share with anybody. If you liked videos like this and you enjoyed watching this, make sure to subscribe. Tune in for the next one next week. Thanks for watching. Tune into his channel too. We'll get him to make one.
We're vlogging!
But there's no tofu in here.
No.
I thought you were fooling me. I thought, oh my
No.
god, he got me to eat tofu.
Hell no.
You scared me there. I thought, shit.
You're like, what is...
I thought miso was tofu. I was like, what?
It's been a year-long trick just to get you to eat tofu.